Hello everybody and welcome to the bookshelf. In this video I am going to be reviewing my top 3 books. I will mention the fan art, if there is any, and films relating to the books, if there is any. There will be a small competition at the end of the video. Please like and subscribe. The first book that I am going to mention is Touch the Dark, written by Karen Chance. This is the first book in the Cassie Palmer series. The blurb is: Cassandra Palmer can see the future and communicate with spirits, talents that make her attractive to the dead and the undead. The ghosts of the dead aren't usually dangerous, they just like to talk, a lot. The undead are another matter. Like any sensible girl, Cassie tries to avoid vampires. But when the blood-sucking mafioso she escaped 3 years ago finds Cassie again with vengeance on his mind, she's forced to turn to the vampire senate for protection. The undead senators won't help her for nothing, and Cassie finds herself working with one of their most powerful members, a dangerously seductive master vampire, and the price he demands may be more than Cassie is willing to pay. I absolutely love this book. I would love to go into detail about this book, but that would give away a lot of spoilers. I love Cassie and the way she deals with her situations. I love her abilities. I also love how the reader describes some of the character. For example, John Pritkin is a favorite. I love all of the characters in this book, but my favorite 3 has to be Cassie, Pritkin, and Mircea. I have definitely grown attached to these. I have read this book more than once, and will definitely read it again in the future. It is from one of my favorite series. The thing that makes Cassie so appealing is that she always tries to have her freedom, even in dangerous situations, even though she grew up with the vampire mafioso. I want to say that Cassie is the next Buffy, except that she doesn't stake them. I definitely recommend this book. There is a lot of description which is good for me as this makes it easier for me to picture the scene. There isn't any films for this books, but I hope there is in the future. I will always prefer the books, but I do love to sit and watch the films as well, and I love to compare the books to the films. I would prefer it to be a part of a series, mainly because the books are a series, and because there would have to be a lot of movies to go over all of the books. I think Karen Chance is an amazing writer, and I know she isn't for everyone according to the reviews on Amazon, but I love her work. I love the fan art for this book. A woman has cross-stitched a bookmark of the characters, and it looks so cute. I am currently trying to do the same thing, because I find the creator to ask. But I won't sell it or anything, so it probably won't be a problem. I am hoping to add an extra character onto it. I will post a picture of it when I have finished. I also love to go on Pinterest, and the author's website, to find drawings and other fan art. I won't post them all, but there are more on her website. The link is in the description. I love to look at fan art. I am hoping to try drawing something for it, but I don't think it will go that well because I am terrible at drawing. I have written a short story based on the history of Mircea. If you are interested in this, let me know and I will post it. I was inspired by this series to write it. The second book I am going to mention is Die For Me, written by Amy Plum. This book is the first book in a trilogy. The blurb for this book is: My life had always been blissfully, wonderfully normal. But it only took one moment to change everything. Suddenly, my sister, Georgia, and I were orphans. We put our lives into storage and moved to Paris to live with my grandparents. And I knew my shattered heart, my shattered life, would never feel normal again. Then I met Vincent. Mysterious, sexy, and unnervingly charming, Vincent Delacroix appeared out of nowhere and swept me off my feet. Just like that, I was in danger of losing my heart all over again. But I was ready to let it happen. Of course, nothing is ever that easy. Because Vincent is no normal human. He has a terrifying destiny, one that puts his life at risk every day. He also has enemies, immortal, murderous enemies who are determined to destroy him and all of his kind. This is definitely my favorite trilogy, and possibly my favorite book. I have read this book lots of times. It is a paranormal romance, and it is actually the first romance that I have read. I didn't think that I would like it, but I was very surprised that I loved it. It gave very good descriptions of Paris, and about all of the characters. I was able to picture everything very well. And it has made me want to visit Paris one day. The reason I love this book so much is because of the relationships with the family, and the relationship with Vincent. I love how Vincent's family took in Kate and made her a part of their family even without knowing if she was trustworthy or not. Kate never tries to change to fit in, she would rather go without instead of risking having her heart broken. Kate is an amazing young woman who I think people can relate to. They may not be able to relate to her past, but to young love, they can definitely relate to, and the family bond. There is no film, or series for this trilogy, though I wish there was, because if it was made anywhere close to the books, I think they would be amazing. I have made t-shirts for myself that relate to the books. People have made amazing fan art for this trilogy, and I absolutely love to look at them. For example, I would love to have these nails, I'm just not good at nail art, and I can't find anywhere that will do them for me. There is more fan art on her website, the link is in the description. The third book that I am going to mention today is Impostor, written by Susanne Winnacker. This is the first of 2 books. The blurb for this book is: Tessa is a variant, able to absorb the DNA of anyone she touches and mimic their appearance. Shunned by her family, she's spent the last 2 years with the forces with extraordinary abilities, a secret branch of the FBI. There she trains with other variants, such as long-term crush Alec, who each have their own extraordinary ability. When a serial killer rocks a small town in Oregon, Tessa is given a mission: she must impersonate Madison, a local teen, to find the killer before he strikes again. Tessa hates everything about being an imposter, the stress, the danger, the deceit, but loves playing the role of a normal girl. As Madison, she finds friends, romance, and the kind of loving family she'd do anything to keep. Amid action, suspense, and a ticking clock, this superhuman comes to a very human conclusion: even a girl who can look like anyone struggles the most with being herself. I wouldn't say that this is my favorite book, but it is definitely close. It is different from the other books that I have read, but kind of reminds me of the X-Men. The different powers that this author has included in this book are incredible, especially Tessa. Wish I could have her power. I love her story. It definitely makes a person feel sorry for what she has been through, but it also makes the reader hope that her future is better. This book makes us care deeply for Tessa. The mission that Tessa goes on is amazing. She takes the form of a normal girl that has been murdered to figure out who the murderer is. That is an incredible thing that she can do. It would definitely be useful in real life. But even though she is playing the role of someone else, you are still able to learn a lot about Tessa. I love all of the characters within this book, and you can tell when one character is playing 2 people, which I think would be very hard to write. I also love the different relationships between all of the characters. I also love the cover for this book. I know that shouldn't affect the book, which it doesn't, but I still love the cover. There are different versions, but the one that I included first is my favorite. It is Tessa and Madison mixed together, and I think that is very cool, and rather creative. There is no film for this book, and the author has stopped writing for this series. I wish there was a film for this. I love to read, but sometimes you just want to sit and watch a film, and I prefer to watch films that I have read. It's fun to compare them. There is no fan art for this book either. I have looked, and tried to find some. But no one seems to have made any. If anyone that reads this wants to make some fan art, please send it to me, as I love fan art. I love to see what the books inspire. For the competition, I want you to guess the genre of this book, and what it is about. Remember, if you cheat, and I will know, then you will not be able to win. The winner will be included at the beginning of the next video. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. If you did not like this video, please comment and tell me why, and if you did like it, then please say what was your favorite part. Also, please suggest other books for me to read, and films for me to watch, and I will try my best to read and watch them.